Hey guys, before we get started on the Fight Bananas podcast, let's thank one of our sponsors, N Still Nutrition. Check them out at nstillnutrition.com and get your supplements there every single day. Guys, we are in a tough time right now. Make sure you keep your body right. Go to nstillnutrition.com, and let's absolutely go bananas. Hey guys, what's up? This is Dave Van Auken once again on the Fight Bananas podcast, and oh my goodness, this is one. This is a show I'm super excited about. We're going to cap off March, maybe one of the, not maybe, the greatest month in the podcast history of Fight Bananas. Major guest, the last 10, 12 days we're talking about with the corona effect. We've had Dean Thomas come on the show to break news. We had Charles Rosa. We had the bare knuckle beast Jim Allers. We've had so many. How about UFC superstar Phil Rowe and tons? We are literally dropping an episode every single day, especially with one of our branches, the Professional Wrestling Podcast. That's that guy's wrestling podcast. So he's putting out content. Of course, we got us at Fight Bananas, Dave Van Auken, and we might have some more, some more news for you coming very soon. But guys, we're going to have Vince Anderson come on the show. Great guy, drenched with Bare Knuckle FC. He has a lot of contacts up there. Big fan of the fight game. So, I just want to check in with him, see how life's going, see how everything's going with the corona effect. And we might have someone else jump on. And like I said, just stay with us. We might have some pretty big news. All right, guys, we're about to go bananas. All right, guys, here we go. We are live on the Fight Bananas hotline. My main man, Vince Anderson. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great, man. How are you doing with the Corona Effect 2020, brother?
Well, fortunately, I live on 40 acres of land in BF, Mississippi, so quarantining really isn't a problem.
Man, you got it good. I'm bringing my family up there. You okay with it? You got the second little place in the back?
No, all you guys stay in the city. We don't need city folks moving to the country now.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Let's get right into it, man. First of all, we got some pretty cool, fun, big news coming up. We'll get in that in a second. But right now, we're talking about Corona. You're drenched with Bare Knuckle FC. How do you think they had to cancel 2 events already? Do you think that's where we can stop this? Are we going to go forward? Do you hope is the word around summertime? We're going to get back to normal and Bare Knuckle FC because the momentum, Vince, was so hot at the end of last year, early this year. Like Bare Knuckle FC had a ton of momentum. So, what are you hoping for Bare Knuckle FC going forward into the spring, summer?
Man, yeah, there was so much momentum leading up to the Wichita fight, and then we had the Birmingham fight lined up. I mean, there was going to be some super stack cards, unfortunately, this coronavirus thing hit. David Feldman, hasn't steered the ship wrong yet. So I have all the faith in the world in him. So I know he's going to do what's right for the promotion, what's right for the fighters. Obviously, we're all missing, our daily dose of bare knuckle and combat sports or whatever. But we have to do what we have to do right now. And I have to say, my wife is an RN and she works, in the kind of ICU area, on the ICU floor at a major hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. And, I get daily updates with her, kind of, catching me up to speed with what the doctors are saying and what's going on. And, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Hopefully people are doing what they're supposed to do, and kind of stay at home unless they are absolutely, in a bind and have to go out. But, like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But hopefully in the next month or so, we'll be back, to regularly scheduled programming.
Wow. Oh, Vince, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about your wife. First, yeah, man, thank you for everything she's doing. Yeah, it's just one of those things. In a weird way, I don't want to put it to that, but after 9/11, all the firefighters and all the cops and everyone just they got to finally get the recognition they deserve in a way. Something's going to happen to a teacher, and we're like, guys, are we really paying teachers this low and not giving them the recognition? We're teaching our kids at home now, and I'm like, okay, when it's a teacher duty day, definitely, you would always bring an apple and a $10 gift card. It's going to be a $50 gift card now. I realize how much they do for my kids on the daily. So, yeah, man, big ups to your wife, Vince. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're on the front lines, man.
Right.
All the respect in the world to the medical professionals that are kind of fighting this battle for us. I mean, they're the unsung heroes right now, and and I don't know if everyone knows this, but most of the nurses, most of the medical professionals out there are suffering with lack of PPE. They don't have the face mask, the gowns, the proper protection that they need. I think it's getting better, but shout out to all the nurses and medical professionals out there, taking this thing by the horns.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So question for you, how did you get involved with combat sports as a whole, and then especially Bare Knuckle FC? How did that Vince Anderson connection with Bare Knuckle FC, how did that come to be?
Okay, so kind of a long story, maybe not. I grew up with Jason Knight's brother, Josh Knight. Shout out Josh, Jason. And I owned an electronics repair company for a little while, and Josh hit me up and asked if I was interested in sponsoring Jason. So, naturally, of course, sponsored Jason. I sponsored him, while he was in the UFC and of course, while he was in Bare Knuckle. And they kind of approached me. Well, we came together and was like, well, I have, business contacts. I have, people that I do business with on a regular basis that could, potentially be interested in sponsoring Jason as well. So, we kind of came up with an agreement that if I could, find him sponsors, then, I would get a cut of whatever the sponsorship deal was. Well, that worked out really well. Really well. And so we got to a point where Jason just kind of approached me and was like, hey, man, how about you just take over kind of all of the marketing, the promotion, all the sponsorships for Mississippi, me and Jason Knight. And I'll just, anytime anybody asks for any sort of information, I would just pass them to you. And I agreed, and we've done pretty well with that. So Jason and Artem put on one hell of a show,
right?
BKFC 5,
right?
And next thing I know, Feldman is calling me, saying, "Hey, man, would you be interested in getting sponsorships for BKFC?" And at the time, most of the events were held in Biloxi,
right?
Which is pretty much my hometown, my stomping ground there. And next thing I know, I'm getting a contract from Feldman, and I'm getting hired on as a marketing contractor, essentially. So yeah, from there, it's I'm at every event pretty much, meeting all the fighters, taking any resource that I have and kind of using it to help promote the fighters, promote the promotion, and just kind of trying to do my part, whether it has monetary value or just self-satisfaction that I'm able to help with, the growth of something that I see as the next big thing in combat sports.
Right, absolutely. Two things I got with that, Vince. One, wouldn't it be really cool? Wouldn't it be really entertaining that somehow there was another platform that you brought to the Bare Knuckle FC fighters and beyond, that they could kind of promote themselves and promote their sponsors? That would be pretty crazy. That would be maybe bananas, but maybe we'll get to that in a second, Vince. Secondly, I think it's so crazy that how one fight can change not even just one life or two lives, the fighter's life. In a way, it changed your life and many others that were involved. And literally that fight, I'm going to be blunt about it. I think it put it on the map. I knew what it was. I am a combat sports fan, a UFC fan, literally the Forrest, Bonner, everyone. If you're an MMA fan, you kind of all have that same story. If you're in the same age group, you remember watching Ultimate Fighter, you beat people or called people on phones on the walls. That kind of tells my age a little bit. But that fight for Bare Knuckle FC, Knight versus Artem, was just I am officially a Bare Knuckle FC fan, and now they have my money or my YouTube subscription or however you guys are showing it. I'm watching it every time just because I'm like, I can't miss if there's another Knight Artem. You know what I mean? I can't miss it. So that fight changed the game.
Yeah, it did. In my opinion, it put Bare Knuckle over the top. I mean, like you said, I'm involved with the sport. I'm involved with Jason, but I'm a fan, man. I can't miss it. I can't get enough of it. It's so action packed. It's so fun. Just to kind of be there and just hear the sound of the knuckles connecting to a face or body. And not to mention, the rule set it's completely new. You have this squared circle. You have this come to scratch line. Whenever you start, you can punch the guy in the face as soon as the ref says knuckle up. It's just great. I can see it overtaking the UFC at some point.
Wow. Okay, so I can't believe we haven't, broke the news or, and especially in combat sports, you should know this, Vince. When someone knows the secret, everyone knows the secret. So it's, I'm proud of ourselves. We went 10 minutes without kind of spilling it. I'll ask you one more question and then we'll kind of finally break this awesome, fun, going to be really good news for, I think, a lot of the fighters in the company and, going forward. But the last kind of question before we do that is, what's that memory for me? Like I said, it was it was Bonner and Griffin, Ultimate Fighter 1, the finale. Watched the show, I'm like, okay, cool, it had my attention. And then that finale, I'm like, whoa, I can never miss a fight again. I don't want to be that person who everyone was asking me because I watched it live, and there was only like 9 of us, on Spike watching it live, and I was telling the rest of the world how great of a fight it was. I felt special, right? What was that moment for you? What got you into combat sports? Was it just the Jason and Josh Knight connection?
No, not at all. I've been a combat sports fan as long as I can remember. One of my, and I've probably watched the season probably 10 or 15 times, but the Ultimate Fighter 1 with Chris Lieben.
Yep.
It was, and Diego, it was so great. It was so awesome, and it was so entertaining. And Chris today is still one of my favorite fighters. This guy has done it for a long time. He's such a badass. He can take the licks. He'll be like a zombie, and still walking forward and still coming at you. And then of course, the personal connection with Jason. And then obviously it kind of branches out from Jason. You got Brock Weaver that trains with Jason, Brandon Davis who helps coach and trains with Jason. Obviously Alan Belcher, who was the sensei of the Mississippi Gulf Coast for a lot of people.
You mentioned Zombie. How about Tyler Hill up there?
Sherman. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of folks around here, man, and we have a really good scene around here as well. And we also have a local MMA promotion, which Jason and Christian Garola started, called Empire FC. We host local MMA fights in Biloxi, and we're trying to bring one up to Jackson as well. So yeah, I'm fully in on this stuff, man, and I couldn't be more excited to break this news with your audience.
Okay. So, should I do it? Should you do it? Should we do it together, like on 3 or something? Like Step Brothers? Can we just come best friends?
Go for it, man. Go for it. I'm here for the ride.
All right, and then as soon as I say it, then I'll absolutely take it away. Long story short, guys, I've been preaching this for the last 2-3 months on the Fight Bananas podcast. How we created this oak tree. Tons of hard work and grinding for over a year, and we brought this platform, YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts and just everything in between, especially FightBananas.com and all the social media outlets, and we brought this platform, and you guys are listening, you guys are subscribing, it's been great, and I'm just that guy, just what's next? What we want more. What's next? Where can we branch out? We've had 2 or 3 ideas in the works. One was so close, the Corona effect kind of paused it for now, and we'll see. It's on the shelf. We'll hopefully get into it. Around 2 weeks ago, we kind of created our first ever professional wrestling podcast. It's called That's Guy Wrestling Podcast, and he's talking about WrestleMania and WWE and AEW, and it's been going great so far. I think he's got 2 episodes in, and we created one together, so it's been going good. And I'm like, okay, what's next? What's more? And I've been talking with Bare Knuckle for almost a year, talked with Dave Feldman 2-3 times, Jim Allers, almost all the fighters. You know this, Vince, Caleb Harris, and we've had Jason Knight on the show. We've had Chase Sherman, and I was like, wow, that is hot. That is the next thing. That we need to get more involved in it. And when I thought about it, Vince Anderson, you were the first person. This name was in my head. I've always you and I would always communicate, and I'm like, we gotta do something here. So, long story short, Vince Anderson, you and a special friend are going to kind of create a Bare Knuckle FC podcast underneath the Fight Bananas umbrella, and you guys are just going to kick ass and take names. That's kind of the gist.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to give it a try. Right now, the working name is going to be Bare Knuckles and Brews.
Love that. That.
Yeah. So we're gonna, we're gonna talk to all the people within the bare knuckle industry. Talk to the fighters, talk to the behind the scenes folks, talk to the people that kind of make it happen. And I'm not going to be doing it alone, like you said. I have a friend who was recently actually inducted into the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame this year, actually. A lot of people know her. Her name is Puma Starr. So she's going to be jumping on, and we're going to be kind of tackling this thing together. We're gonna make it happen. See what happens.
Dude, that's incredible. That is so incredible. When we were talking about it and the ideas, and no one knows all the behind the scenes, all the work, and the 2 people, like I said, your name came up and her name came up, and we're like, what can we do? How can we do it? And then we didn't know, me and the people behind the scenes here, we didn't know that you guys had such a great friendship, had such a great relationship. And so I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So we literally got both of you, and and you guys, there's so much travel involved, and sometimes, hey, you guys could be at an event and you do 1, 2, 3 together. You can do one. It's just going to be, we're going to see how it goes. But we're so excited here at Fight Bananas, man. We're really pumped for just everyone. We're pumped for Sheena. We're just pumped for all of our listeners. We're bringing more content to them for absolutely free. And for that, I definitely want you to plug one of the sponsors. Hopefully a new sponsor for your podcast going forward, and then plug them away. And then maybe let's talk to Sheena.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're working. As I said, we're working with Jason Knight. And he's actually launching a new website soon. It's MississippiMean.com. He's going to be selling, all of his merch, his fight shirts, his posters, his, you can get rash guards, fanny packs, even. It's going to be launching soon. Anything, Jason. cell phone covers, the whole lot. So it's going to be launching within the next month or two. And yeah, we're super happy to have the support of MississippiMean.com, and go check them out.
Oh my goodness, guys! Sheena's calling in right now. All right, guys. We told you we could have a special guest online. Vince, who's joining us?
Yeah, this is a good friend of mine, and I'll call Badass. She's going to be joining me on the show. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is Sheena Puma Starr.
Yo, what's up, people? How's everyone doing? Enjoying the apocalypse from your window? Hopefully quarantining, not going out. Packing the grocery stores and shit, doing good.
we have our toilet paper here. We got we're teaching the kids. It was so funny you said that, Puma. Before you got on, we were talking about like how much I'm going to start tipping teachers. Like I'm going to bring my kids to school. I'm going to look at my teacher and be like, "Here's a 20, thank you." Like we're doing it at home now. Holy shit, this is crazy.
I see my neighbor Tammy scraping the fucking I have an awesome student bumper sticker off the back of her car last week. Guess first week homeschool was going that well, huh?
That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So, so Vince kind of, so far coined it. We're going to go bare knuckle and brews. I just love it. I just think you guys together, there's so much, like we said, Bare Knuckle FC had so much momentum 2019 going to 2020. I am so excited for the summer. They made the signings earlier this year, Vince, of Thiago Alves. Oh, holy shit, when he gets in the ring, that's going to be crazy, bananas. Hector Lombard just got the win. There's a couple other names I'm aware of, I think I would assume you're aware of too, Vince. So it's going to be an absolutely bananas summer for 2020 for Bare Knuckle FC, guys.
Man, can't wait. And the Kansas card was already stacked. On top of all the signings that are coming through, the Kansas card was so stacked. I mean, I'm kind of bummed that we missed that one. I mean, it was a last minute cancellation. Dave did everything he could to try to make it happen, and unfortunately, it wasn't the right thing to do at the time. But hopefully, we're going to see it again pretty soon.
And I was bummed. I was getting ready to see some of those Midwest boys come out, man. I mean, we've seen the South, we've seen Florida, but those corn-fed country fuckers, they're tough, man. They're tough. I mean, Dakota Kratz, Christ's sake. I mean, he took out Chris Levin, on super last-minute notice, dude. It's just like it's the Midwest. We've been trying to get a lot of these Midwest guys, you'd finally get signed to, bare knuckle and compete in this, and it's just, you couldn't get enough of them too much because we're so far away. And the Kansas show, it was our time. And they got taken away from the virus.
I know, it's
away like that.
Crazy. They even have a coined term, right? It's called country strong, right? Those guys and girls, right? They're no joke. Middle of the country, they're just kind of bred a different way, and I'm agreeing with you, Shane. They're just absolute studs.
Helen Patella, that's where she's from. Josh Burns, we all know Josh Burns. They're overseas bare knuckle big boy. He's from my state of Michigan. I mean, we got Jason Fish signed. Jay Hook'em Fish, who's just been getting ducked. We'll see who's got the balls to step up and fight that fucker, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to get hit by Jay Fish, especially bare knuckle.
Then you had the Helen and Christine rematch. That was one of the ones I was so excited about. I mean, I hate that got canceled. I was so looking forward to seeing that rematch.
Yeah, we were getting ready to fly out the next morning. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'll see.
Right.
I'll see. It's coming through, and I got higher up. I got ISK guy messaging me saying he's like they're gonna shut it down. I'm like, fuck. Do they know this yet? He's like, no, they get told at noon. Oh shit.
This is awesome.
You can't say anything. You just
right.
Watch and. Have Christmas be canceled for everybody, It's like,
Now you can say it on the Fight Bananas podcast, Bare Knuckle and Brews. You're going to be breaking information. You got matchmaking. Just real quick, so you're on Instagram. I'm checking you out right now. Puma?
Whatever's not on a non-disclosure, it's all coming out there. It's all, and it's like we're real people too.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are real people, real fighters, real homies. We got like inside stories and, stuff that, you're just not going to get anywhere else. And, That's what makes it cool. It makes it different. And it's just laid back, man. No need to, have a stick shoved up your ass. Fucking, just relax, have fun. Beers and brews, have a couple drinks. Let's drink and interview people. I think that's fucking great. Let's do that.
Well, that's kind of the premise, right, too, Sheena? You want to tell them kind of like what we've been talking about with the premise of the pod?
Great.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are going to, pour a cold one of your favorite drink. It could be a energy drink that sponsors the podcast, hopefully, or it could be an IPA. It could be freaking George Masvidal's new tequila. You know what I mean?
Anything healthy, man. I wanna try everybody's stuff out. I want to try everybody's stuff out. Well, shit, we could do drink of the week. You guys out there, get some drink. You nutritionist guys. I mean, I see your stuff all the time. Send us some stuff. Let's put your product out there. Let's see what you got. Let's talk about it. Let's bring you on. I'm always wanting to learn new stuff. Constantly new stuff's coming out. Some of it's bullshit, some of it's not. But if you don't got any bullshit product, which most of our people don't, put it out there.
Right.
Give us a call. Let's let everybody else know about your awesomeness.
I love it. I cannot wait. We are so excited to have you guys. I think you guys are literally peanut butter and jelly, spaghetti and meatball. It's going to be amazing content. You guys are going to be going, flowing back and forth. Just real quick, a couple Bare Knuckle FC questions for both you guys. With the momentum going, what do you think Bare Knuckle FC has to do as soon as this, hopefully, virus is, aside, and hopefully you guys can pick up? There's that show in Miami, talked about, and I know there's a lot of rumors down there. What does Bare Knuckle FC have to do right away to kind of capture that momentum and keep on going forward for 2020?
Go ahead, Sheena. I'll go to you.
Oh, you're letting me go? Well, how nice of you, Vince. But what I think they're going to do first, as a company, they're going to have to recover a little bit financially. All right, they're going to need to go somewhere where they got good ticket sales. All right, I mean, not that ticket sales are the number one deal, but we need to go somewhere. We need to pack the house. We need to have good main co-main and try to keep it local. So I think that's what they need to do. And just try to, keep your people busy. Keep people busy. All of us have been out of work, and it's everybody too. So I think this virus isn't really, as far as the governmental shutdowns and all this shit, it isn't really holding them back or stopping them, because it's stopping everybody right now. And I think they already got a good plan to know what they are working on, looking forward. It's just we're waiting for, the date. The date we're coming in, or the date we're coming in. So hopefully we get some good big names out there, and some new names, and the fans come out and support us, and the people aren't afraid yet. That's the big deal. That's the big deal. That's what it's going to be. The first chomp out, man. We don't want the fans to feel worried about coming out to these events. We want the fans to feel safe. We also want the fans to be safe. Again, this virus, it ain't going anywhere. So, we're just quarantining everybody to, so we don't overwhelm the system at once. So, hopefully, we'll be able to work around it, and people will come and support us.
Vince?
Yeah, right. I mean, David Feldman is a genius when it comes to promotion, right? Like he knows what he's doing. He's thinking this whole time. Don't think he's just sitting back, kind of, relaxing while he's in quarantine. This guy's, putting it together, figuring out what's next. So just know that the momentum's going to kind of pick up where it left off. I think maybe. So many states right now are kind of catching on to the scene. Initially it was just Mississippi and Wyoming first, and then Mississippi. The next thing you know, Florida jumps in, and then now there's a few other states that are want to jump in and join the party. Dave had already announced prior to all this that he had planned on taking a promotion to the UK. Planned on taking it to China. The sky's the limit. I see, Vegas shows in bare knuckles' future. I honestly think it can happen. I really don't think the coronavirus pandemic is going to derail the promotion that much. I think people are so excited about it right now. I think it's going to be bigger than ever once we finally get going again. Just because people are going to, be ready to just, take it in as much as possible.
Right.
And there are tons of like former UFC fighters, boxers coming in. There's a lot of hype behind this. So, I think, he's playing it cool. The promotion's playing it cool right now. But once everything dies down and everyone feels kind of safe, then, it's going to kind of pick up where it left off.
Wow. Okay, you both mentioned something, and Vince, you hit on something that I definitely want to jump into. And after that, guys, we'll ask one more, and then we'll kind of break. Man, this is awesome, exciting news. Bare Knuckle and Brews on the Fight Bananas umbrella. We are so pumped to have you guys. Chris Lieben, Hector Lombard, they signed Tiago with Artem coming in last summer. All this stuff. You guys, Bare Knuckle FC was not shy of bringing in names and talent and just studs from different sports as well. Name me a couple names. It was so funny. I had Jim Allers on the podcast a couple days ago, Vince. I think you heard it. He threw out Diego Sanchez, and I was like, wow, yeah, Diego and Bare Knuckle. That's that would be fun. Is there a name, or is there someone that you guys maybe even know of, or just even to be a fan of, to see him or her in in that square circle toeing the line?
I know Tanya Evinger wants in. Tanya Evinger's multi-promotion female champion. She was a UFC title, holder. Contender. Fought Chris Cyborg, fought for Invicta. She's in Texas. She's mean. She's nasty. She fit right in. As far as guys, I don't care if he's on freaking probation or how fat he is or anything. I want to see Mayhem Milligan in that squared circle. Homie.
Well, there are a couple of folks that I would love to see in the squared circle right now. It may not be completely feasible, but as obviously, like the Masvidals and the Diaz brothers, of course, you want to love to see those guys get in there and bang. But I personally, I think someone like Pat Barry, myself, I'd like to see Pat Barry jump in and kind of throw some hands without gloves. I think he'd be a beast.
Right. Well, that's a good one. This is definitely good. I love that one. This is going to work. You guys both went exactly my last question where I was going. That's so funny. You guys have the 155-pound division. You guys have some lighter weight classes killing it. To me, for Bare Knuckle FC, females and heavyweights. If you guys can capture that heavyweight champion, that, badass, most dangerous man in the world, and then that's not going to lie, with Starr on it, females sell. Females are kicking ass. The Weili Joanna was the fight of the year, maybe the fight of the lifetime, maybe the best female fight in the history of combat sports. I just think if you guys can boost up the female divisions and then heavyweights divisions, that's the two keys for Bare Knuckle FC to take that next step. You guys agree with that?
I do, and I think it's something that that's really possible. It's been talked about, and Feldman with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, he started that. They were starting their tournament for the title. We were supposed to have a title fight in Kansas. The division was going to be established then. We just need more female fights. We need more female fights. It's one of the most difficult divisions to build, not because the females don't want to do it, it's because a lot of their coaches are holding them back. They don't want the pretty faces to get, it's a very unique type of craziness that you need to have to compete in this sport, and there's not a lot of girls signing up for it in one single weight class. A lot of them are smaller. I think the future of Bare Knuckle, as far as the female weight classes go, isn't the weight class that they're working with right now. It's going to be the one under it, because there's more females that are willing to fight and compete at that weight. than they are, the larger ones. Every single female that's competed in the weight class right now is bare knuckle. Christine Freya, Helen Patella, myself, Delaney Owen, all of us are MMA strawweights, 115 pounds.
Right.
But we're all competing at 125. As soon as
Christine would have to cut off a leg to make 115. Come on now.
Who?
Christine, missed it.
Oh, missed it? Well, yeah, because she's all bulking it up, lifting heavy shit all day. So, it's gonna happen when you're all being all super beastie. But she fought there. She fought Muay Thai there at line fights, and she fought 115 Invicta as well. You know what I mean? But I just use it for an example. So. Hopefully we're able to see more of the female fights. They're a little bit more expensive, and we're a lot more spread apart. And it can be difficult. Like Mississippi, how many female fights have been in Mississippi, and not one of those fighters has been anywhere near Mississippi or lived there? It costs a lot.
Right.
For these guys. Bex too. Hell, Beck Rawlings. What'd she fight at? 150. That's what I'm saying. So it's as the sport gains popularity and it grows, and people see it's not so dangerous like they're making it out to be, then we'll get to see those female divisions grow just a little bit more. And as far as the heavyweight goes, there's heavyweights for days. I mean, you will never have a problem matching heavyweight division in bare knuckle. There's so many of them, you know what I mean? And there's so much different talent out there. Not all heavyweights are created the same. We all know that. So it'll be interesting to see how that division fluctuates and moves around. I know we were looking forward to seeing Good Beer and Beltran here coming up. It was supposed to be in Arkansas, but that unfortunately got canceled as well. So hopefully we'll be able to revisit some of these larger matches when we're able to have fights again. Maybe Feldman will put them all on. We'll just do all the title fights one night. You know what I mean?
It'll be Bare Knuckle FC 11.5, and it'll just be a mega card of both shows. I would love that.
I like it.
There we go.
Yeah, we could do a 2-day event.
Hey,
put it in Kansas.
If WrestleMania can do it, Bare Knuckle FC can do it. That's all I know.
Our fans are so cool. Much cooler,
Hell yeah.
though.
Hell yeah. Dude, this is awesome. I'm so excited. Just this last 10, 15 minutes, the back and forth, the banter. You guys have so much knowledge, so much, like you said, inside information. You knew the card was going to be canceled before probably the fighters did. Guys, Puma Starr, Vince Anderson, Bare Knuckle, and Brews coming to the Fight Bananas umbrella. We are so pumped and excited. I guess, guys, I'm going to give it away to you two. What can our listeners get ready for? And I know you're going to bring a lot of Bare Knuckle FC fans to us as well. It's going to be this great cross promotion. We're excited, and I'm just going to give you guys the floor and take it away and get them pumped for when this debut show, Bare Knuckle and Brews, is going to happen.
Yeah, so like I said, our promise is kind of getting the host to kind of relax, having their favorite beverage with us, whether it be alcoholic or nutritious or whatever they like. So that's kind of the premise. And we're going to bring some insight that some of the other guys aren't able to bring. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. Sheena is obviously a fighter. She's she's a cut woman. She prefers cut man. She's told me.
I ain't no liberal pussy. Just call it what it is, damn it.
And so we're going to be able to bring a side of this industry that most aren't able to capture. We have personal relationships with the fighters, with the people behind the scenes, with the people that are really working hard to make sure that these things happen. We're going to have to get our bearings, initially, but bear with us, and we're going to bring you some real shit, some real bare knuckle shit.
Right. It's just going to be basically like us people, all of us homies, our friends. You want to know what happens when the show's done or before it, or, just, bring a couple of our bare knuckle fight friends on. Let's talk some shit. Let's make some, make some jokes, give each other crap just like we do every other day. We'll be having some call outs on there. I've been watching a couple of them. I know we can get them on. Just like myself and Ashley Gambino with her fucking pancake titties and.
Yeah, well, we're not mentioning that. No.
But just everybody, I like to get it, just. It's gonna be your normal, quick, your normal people show. We ain't all stuck up. We ain't, just all super, conservative and whatnot. It's gonna be a cool, laid back show, just like we are as friends. Inside stories, inside people. You got the people that are, working hard, and like Vince said, that we normally don't get to talk to those. Folk, and sorry, my family just.
Yeah, right on. And real quick, part of my vision as well was to kind of, bring the viewers some of that kind of like behind the scenes action. Hanging out with the fighters and the people behind the scenes. At a restaurant, at a bar, at the gym, or whatever.
Absolutely. Watching Anthony Rumble Johnson stir his drink with a big, huge sucker, and let's have Jeff Houston making sexual innuendos and references while Chris Lytle is choking on whiskey. Like shit like that.
Hell yeah. We are excited. Are excited.
Yeah, I've been around the fight game for a long time, but I recently decided to get in shape with my daughter and start training at a local gym. So happens that Caleb Harris is a coach at a gym about 20 miles from me, and his corner man and coach Dustin DePuma owns Primal Mixed Martial Arts. It's also Killer Bees Jiu-Jitsu. So shout out to them. Go follow them. Primal MMA on Instagram.
We're that close to Caleb Harris, and you never went there. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Right down the road. I'm quarantined right now. I'm like training jiu-jitsu with my dog or whatever right now. But yeah. So maybe we'll get some footage at the gym. We'll definitely have Caleb on. We'll definitely have Jason on. Two close friends of mine, and then Sheena has way more friends than I do. So it's going to be a lot of great guests and a lot of action.
Man, that is so exciting, guys. For one, thank you so much for coming on. We are so pumped to have you. Like I said, this oak tree has tons of big branches coming out, and we're happy that you guys are one of the branches. We are Bare Knuckle and Brews. Bare Knuckle FC just had such a tremendous last 18 months, 20 months. We want more. We want to go all in, and we are here at Fight Bananas, so we're so pumped to have you guys on. And we are excited to see what happens, the content. And like you said, any videos behind the scenes, we're just going to blast it up. We got Fight Bananas Official on Instagram. We got the YouTube channel. We got all the podcast platforms, Facebook. We are just going to blow people away with content, behind the scenes stories, one-offs, maybe interviews at the weigh-ins, after the show. Maybe after Jason Knight wins the title, we got Vince Anderson in the ring afterwards getting it.
It'll be wanted video too. So all you fighters and even promoters, anybody listening, we're not going to go be paparazzi, stealing, like sneaking in videos, like, private crack and, bad shit like that. So don't be running thinking I'm TMZ and shit, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Don't try to run from us because we're quote unquote media.
There you go.
I'll find you. I'll find them anyways. That shit. I'll find you.
Right on.
First ever bathroom interview.
We appreciate the opportunity, man.
Absolutely, guys.
Excited about it, and we'll see where it goes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk very soon. All right. Appreciate you guys. Bare Knuckle and Brews, Puma Starr, and Vince Anderson. Guys, that is it. How pumped is that? I told you we got some news. I told you we're bringing so much new stuff to the Fight Bananas. We undersell and over-deliver. That's what we do here at Fight Bananas. So thank you so much, guys. We have a brand new show jumping on the Fight Bananas umbrella, Bare Knuckle and Brews, featuring Vince Anderson and starring Puma Starr. I love that. You got to have the star and the star. So there we go, guys. It's going to be a lot of content coming with everything we're doing here at Fight Bananas with MMA. We have 3, 4, 5 shows. We got wrestling podcast, professional wrestling. Now we got Bare Knuckles, and especially when it's Bare Knuckle FC week, we're going to have a lot of content. But you guys can get it all for absolutely free. Just help out all of our sponsors. Of course, go subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube channel, iHeartRadio, or anywhere you get podcasts. So just keep on doing that, and we'll make it free. All right, that's my promise to you. So we're going to end on that. Thank our sponsors, Warhammer Fightwear. Check them out at warhammerfightwear.com. Guys, it's buy local. It's a hard time for a lot of people. Make sure we buy our stuff local. They have the best MMA gear, rash guards, T-shirts, dry fits. I wear the dry fits at least 2-3 days a week. warhammerfightwear.com. We have our family over there in the Gulf in Mako Tech mouthguards, some of the best mouthguards for if you're a pro fighter, a bare knuckle FC fighter. She's done that for Brock Weaver and beyond. There's so much UFC fighters, or you just want to train and make sure you protect your teeth. You need those. You need that smile so you can make the big bucks, all right? Mako Tech mouthguards. And last, but certainly not least, especially with Bare Knuckle FC, Fusion CBD products. They've been connected with us for the last 4, 5, 6 months. They've been connected with Bare Knuckle. So we're going all in. You go to bareknuckle.tv, their website. On the head banner, put in that special code, Bare Knuckle FC, BKFC. 20% off. We have our code at Fight 2020 for Fight Bananas. I don't care, guys. We just want you to get the points off. We want you to get 20% off. So if you're using Fight 2020 or BKFC, they know what we do for them. So we're happy to keep rolling with Fusion CBD products. Go to fusioncbdproducts.com to get your stuff today. So there we go, guys. What a great show. Puma Starr, Vince Anderson, thank you so much for both coming on at the same time. We don't do that a lot, so it's great, and we're just excited. We cannot wait to see what happens, and we're going to enjoy the absolute ride. Just continued success to everyone out there. Stay safe. A lot of stuff's going on. Stay home. All right, guys.